Gotta go. Girl talk.
Boom!
Woo!
Hard
Alright.
in.
Yeah, dude. Hey, welcome to Gotham City Tonight. I'm Ryan Doell, and we're about to do a monthly Marvel, and I'm here with like the man, the guy who dueled the devil in a sculpting competition, Mr. Alex Brewer.
I heard you guys telling that story on Toy Anxiety last night, and I started getting scared. I was,
Yeah.
imagining that. Like,
You would have been fine. You would have been. You clearly won. The Peter Parkers, the Peter Venkmans have been pre-ordered. Hey, speaking of Peter Parker,
yeah,
you have not watched Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, have you?
No, I watched the first however many minutes that they released on YouTube a little bit.
You were like, screw this.
I have not seen the rest. Have you been watching it?
I'm gonna watch I'm gonna watch episode 3 right after we're done here.
Is it that they did like the first couple of episodes like what they do with X-Men, like where it's like you get the first 3 and then
you get the first 2 and it's just like, all right, you hooked? Now come back next week. So they kind of did that. I don't know. I really like the series. It's way different. It is not what I expected. I think a lot of people expected this to be the animated version of the MCU Peter Parker.
Oh.
And it is in a lot of ways, but it's also like this is completely different in so many ways, and I'm totally fine with it.
I was surprised right off the bat that it's CG. Because all of the art assets and everything have this kind of very hand-drawn, Alex Tothi, Jaime Hernandez, Ditko, very comic booky look. But it's their CG character models that have this sort of cell shading applied.
So that's how we also did Penny Parker in Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
Right? In Spider-Verse. So, I mean...
But
it's the same
way more this is not quite as fluid as what you guys did.
No,
this definitely feels like you're watching CG,
but there's definitely nods to Into the Spider-Verse in the first 2 episodes, like right down to Peter just about getting hit by the car and the honk, and it's just I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too frame for frame.
Yeah, I feel like I saw a lot of Spider-Verse in that just in the first few minutes or whatever. And also there's the multiverse, right? So it's
so it could be. Yeah. I got a feeling we're gonna I don't know, they're gonna use this Peter Parker other places, maybe even the parks. I could see them doing something with him in the parks.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I like it. I'm enjoying the show for what it is. I like his, and again, great supporting cast. Because they're changing the dynamics. So the big head honcho jock dude, he's not a bully. He actually he's stoked to be Peter Parker's lab partner. Right? It's just there's new dynamics and stuff. I'm all for it. Should we say a quick?
Let's say hi to this here chat.
Oh, well, good evening, chat. We've got Video Power Gaming. Are we allowed to ask about Boogeyman? No.
Yeah. I can't, just in general, I can't say things that aren't already out in the public. So yeah, there's a teaser for Boogeyman out there, but
until
then, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Relax. Fantastic. Yes. Fatastic. Is that what I wrote in the? Is that what I put in the thumbnail?
Yeah, the Fatastic Four.
When I put the stuff together in the late evenings the night before.
Maybe it's the Fatastic Four.
Ooh, I like that. Dorlaxian is here. Andrew's Gatey's Toys. I don't know what I was expecting from the McFarlane show. We didn't even watch it. But at least Deadshot to build up the Secret Six out. Sure. Well,
we gotta catch up.
Nick Dellinger is here. I've been playing some Rivals with Nick during this week. Deep Space Diner is here. Quip is here. You're mad. The dude is the latest. He's the poster child of streaming.
I know.
Right? He's the Taylor Swift of live toy streaming.
He's broken through.
He's broken through. He's gone from man in the chat to man on the screen. It's amazing.
Welcome, Quip. Glad to have you here.
Glad to have you. Exactly. Yeah. Plus, he knows the stuff, so he can always correct us in the chat too.
Yeah.
Cougar McGillicuddy is here. Johnny Disco, Detroit Dave, Tony Johnson, Rabbit McGavin, my hero Matt Bush. I got a Matt Bush pickup to show off today, by the way, when we're done this. Skylar Davis is here. Wow. Luis Ballesteros, hola desa. Oh, I can't do this.
I can, hola desde Mexico.
Right. If you are involved in bringing that Ben Grimm to life, you are promoted to God status. Well, partially. I can't really talk about it, but we can talk about it on a later episode in July. End of July. We can do that. Actually, you got to remember to do that too. Me, you, and Alice need to buy tickets for the movie at San Diego.
Yes.
We got to remember to do that as well. Saw Late Night with the Devil. Didn't know you were an actor. Oh, well, surprise. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I guess someone looks like me.
He's the devil.
King Panther is here. Alex, I know you can't reveal things on here. However, one can dream about a 1/6 Fantastic Four figures. Please, toy gods, make it be so.
I would truly love that.
Oh, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get into some of that toy news as well. Like, there's not really toy news, but there was something there in case anyone was paying attention to any of the posters. A lot of Easter eggs, a lot of neat stuff in there. Topher Khan is here. Oh, and my boy Steve 3 from California. He's here as well. Hopefully streaming with him this weekend. We're gonna do hoping to do our TVC HasLab Ghost unboxing.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
So we're going to do a live stream of that. I think we're going to do it on the Bitter Asian Dude channel, Paul's channel, and hoping to also make it a charity thing. So any super chats that come in, it'll go to California where Steve is, and Steve's okay, which is great. Stephen Lawrence is here. Allison Troy, the mistress of magnitude of knowledge. I don't know if that worked, but anyways, that's who you are tonight. Christopher Negri is here. Peak Obi-Wan, Chris Bruno, Zach Kinsella. Also, be sure to follow Zach Kinsella on his Instagram. Amazing artwork on there. A lot of great wrestling stuff. And I believe he was even out protesting today. So way to use your voice. Loving that. Chris Bobinski is here. Drock 812000. I don't know if I think I did that right. We'll find out. Charlie Squared. Davey Sockrocker is here. This is absolutely, I would just wish Ben's voice was gravelly. Come on, get out of here. Derek Hoover, he is here as well. Awesome. Let's get, what we're going to start. I'm going to start with my Matt Push pickup. Because it's related to last week's episode. Last week we did we went and we flipped through the style guide from 1983 DC Comics. We had a full house last week too. I guess I should have messaged Alice and said, Ben, like, are you coming on tonight? If she wants to come on tonight, she'll just hop on. But this is related to that. Matt Bush is unreal, dude. He's insanely generous. I think we all know this. This is one of the pickups. I'm not going to show them all off because some I'm going to save for toy anxiety. But I do have to show off this superpowers, this minty, clean Clark Kent figure. Oh, maybe I should have biggin. Should I have biggin here? Oh, hi, Alex. There we go.
Damn.
And he works.
Oh, man. That's the Smallville jab.
Well, he's kind of running to the
to the phone booth. That's great.
The phone booth, or he's late for work. He's not going to risk flying to work. He's just gonna, even though I always wondered this. Hang on, because I remember I was talking to you about, like, I think we talked about this where I was designing my dream playset, which is the Daily Planet that folds open. It's like a street, and there was a part where I had it like there's a little elevator thing that comes down that switches the Superman to Clark Kent, and he comes out of the broom closet.
Oh yeah.
I never understood how he got in the broom closet.
Doesn't he just go in?
Like I guess, but like I guess he has to do it really fast so no one sees him.
Oh, so no one sees like Clark Kent go in and then Superman come out,
right? Yeah. So it's just
I think he does it when no one's looking. He's very discreet about it. It's always like you know.
Yeah, right. As Alistair, you open a door and you go inside.
This looks like a job for Superman.
For Superman. I love that. I do love that gimmick though. That's easily one of my favorites. Hang on. Kojo is here. Hey Kojo, this is a new name. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
The new Jurassic World Rebirth dinosaur is a cave troll from Lord of the Rings. I honestly thought it was a Rancor monster. I was like, no, are we getting Rancors? What is this? And I was like, maybe there's somebody in the office. I was just like, at that time, like, hey guys, what would happen if I fucked a dinosaur? What do you think would happen?
I hope the movie opens with someone's like carrying all the different DNA, and then they're like, "What? Quick, the boss is coming! Just put him back in any jar."
I cut myself. Just put your blood in there. It doesn't matter. He just wants to be loved.
Wait a minute, that creature's me.
Well, what's funny, Steve 3, I'm in a texting group with him. He's like, hey, did you see the trailer? There's a part of me that was like, I know this is totally off tangent already. When because I was like, my first thought was, so when does this take place? The dinosaurs are all back on the island. I really liked it when they were like everywhere and you kind of had to even be careful where you went camping. Like, I really dug that.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, did they write themselves into a corner where it's like, even though I feel like there's much more possibilities when you've got dinosaurs just roaming around the mainland. Anyways, so I started getting all hung up on that. And then I was like, what am I doing? It's a movie about humans and dinosaurs together. Maybe I should just shut up and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, but there's a ride?
Well, it's 2 rides.
But on the Pirates of the Caribbean, they don't eat the chore or whatever. I just realized though that those movies have yet to like realize the promise of like dinosaurs everywhere, which is that I thought they were gonna like flash forward to like a Mad Max dystopian wasteland where it's like Dinotopia, where like humans are riding dinosaurs, Cadillacs and dinosaurs. Yeah. But like more Mad Maxy, and they're like battling and like Thunderdome. So
it's
arenas,
like Mad Max and Dino Riders.
Yes. Why is that not where those movies went? I thought that's the whole thing they were building up to, was like this crazy ass future with man and dinosaur prehistoric beast
coexisting.
Slugging it out.
And it's almost like and they could take it like a way more sci-fi way than Planet of the Apes did, because it's not like humans got wiped out with a select few being like close to extinction. It was more of a like, we brought extinct animals back, and then now we've got like people hooking up the sides of their cars to a T-Rex.
Yeah.
And they're like,
it's like down
the street.
The T-Rex has like a car, as like a
car hood,
the chassis of a car on its head, and that's what like the king is sitting on, and like go stupid with it, right? I thought I thought that's where they were going.
I was kind of and I would even watch a movie or a TV series or an animated series that wasn't necessarily for kids, of like the downfall of like each episode is year by year to how we got there. So you see like society just slowly starting to just like crumble. Maybe that's too close to home right now, but anyways, it's just like you're watching it hit like bit by bit, where it's just like, okay, stock market's crashing because there's a brontosaurus, and
well, I think that's kind of like that's what the Planet of the Apes movies did. That's sort of what the Jurassic World movies did, but they always like end, the franchises end before the fun really kicks in.
That's
is
true.
what I'm saying. It's like I feel like the movie you think they're gonna build towards, the like insane, crazy movie, is never comes. But like, I mean, like we're talking humans that are like experimenting with like infusing themselves with dino DNA, so they're like part human, part dinosaur, and that's like its own tribe.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, I don't want to see more people in fields like being chased by velociraptors. Like, we've time to move on.
Hey, that visual though, of the Spinosauruses circling the boat was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Video Power
cool.
Gaming.
It's cool.
Yeah. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I like this Dino Riders pitch by Alex. So do I. Because I think Mattel would make amazing toys of that.
Yeah. We don't even have toys right now. Like, get crazy with it.
Get crazy. Hey, speaking of trailers, big one dropped. Like probably one of the biggest. What would you say this is probably the most anticipated MCU movie since Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh yeah, I mean easily. I'd say more so, because it's like there's an element of the unknown. It's supposed to kick off a new phase of this stuff. Like,
yeah, I think it's super exciting.
Yeah, and I love that they're excited too, because I mean, not to like get ahead of ourselves, but one of my favorite things is the way the trailer ends with just the Fantastic Four. Like, we are so proud of this thing. Here it is.
Hey, and they should be. They should be. It's a ride, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for the movie to come out. Hang on. So we'll talk about the trailer. We'll talk about what was all kind of in there. I don't really have it pulled up or ready to show or anything, but I want to talk about these because they put out like a bunch of teaser posters. And these are more or less shots, and they've got like this like photo filter on them to make them look like Norman Rockwell paint.
Oh yes,
right,
very cool. Or it's like Alex Ross Marvels.
Well, I was gonna say it's the '60s, so Alex Ross or Norman Rockwell. But okay,
no, it's definitely Rockwell. But Ross and Rockwell are
they swear they're not AI. I mean they're filters. So I mean, guess what? All your Instagram filters, that's AI. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I will say. Like, I understand the like AI comparisons, because this is like the color palette that like AI leans towards, is like, kind of a greenish blue and a beigeish orange kind of.
Right. But everyone here in the foreground, this is an actual photo with a layer put over top of it. The crowd, just like in the movies now, the crowd is also just that's what's not real, is the crowd behind them. Yeah. But everyone here in the foreground, that is an actual photo. Can confirm.
That rope's got to be fake though, right?
That rope is so it disgusts me. You'll notice the one guy in the foreground as well. My buddy Dave, he caught this. I thought this was totally awesome. So there's this guy here.
Yeah.
Have you seen this man before?
Well, my first thought is it the dude from Marvels with the eye patch who's the photographer?
Right? That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Yes. You can't tell because he's covering the eye that would have the patch on it.
Right. But I was like, oh.
That's awesome. If that's what it's referencing.
If that was intentional, bravo. Because even if he doesn't have the eye patch, just the idea that you would try to like mirror something like this. I don't know. I just think it's a super, super nice touch. And then there's this shot as well. This is the director's daughter.
Oh.
Okay.
And is that a Marvel Select thing with a shirt on it?
Hang on. I am certain that is a Marvel Select from DC Direct thing. I am certain of it. That is the same damn thing. Yeah. Right? Because it had the blue pants.
For a second, I was like, "Is this a tease for like the Thing figure we're getting for the movie?"
It better be. Holy shit! We better be getting. I expect Hasbro to put on a full line like it's Star Wars in 1983. I expect everyone from the background. Dude, I honestly, okay, when this movie comes out, we're also going to do not only a review, we are going to pitch what our dream toy line would look like for this movie.
Yes. Already got the wheels spinning.
Because I do understand that we are now in different times and we can't get everything the way we used to. Things come out very select.
Yes. Marvel select.
Even. Thank you. And so, yeah, people are already like, Davey puts out a good point here too. Like Davey Sawgracker, HasLab Galactus re-release. Maybe.
Yeah,
right?
or maybe they'll just do it like the Sentinels, the X-Men 97 Sentinels, where it's like, I think maybe they could just do a movie, depending on how the movie performs, like a movie style Galactus, like pre-order.
Maybe be a little smaller, maybe same size. Who knows?
Yeah, right? He looks pretty big in that trailer.
Yeah, it's like this. People were using that thing as proof as AI because the head was small. It's like some people's heads are just small. Yeah, we need Mego style drops. I think that's the other thing I love about the trailer too. Hang on, we can probably take this down. The one thing I love about the trailer that's in there is the Ben Cooper style Thing costume.
Yes. Totally.
Even if they first off, I would love if NECA was able to because they do the DC ones. If NECA was all of a sudden able to be like, hey, we could do these, I would love it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's not outside the realm of possibility.
I also think because they did re-release ones for DC. They did some re-release Ben Cooper costumes at Spirit Halloween the last couple years. That should be an official costume as well. Do the Thing as a Ben Cooper style costume with the new movie logos on it.
Was there a Ben Cooper Thing costume? Like, is that similar to, because the mask is so retro Jack Kirby Thing that it seems like it could have been just something that they sourced, or it's like a deliberate nod to that.
I am going to Ben Cooper.
And what a great way to reinforce their celebrity in the trailer, to establish that it's like, they're like icons, right?
Right.
He's a monster, but the kids love him, right?
I love that too, which means that kind of tells me as well that there's a good chance we'll get the Yancey Street Gang. Dude,
if Yancey Street Gang isn't in this, referenced, we don't need to see just in the comics, just some a box with a cream pie in it from the Yancey Street Gang. Oh, there it is. So that's
that's it.
There it is. I think NECA probably could make something happen there.
I like this as shown. And it's just I love it.
Why would Ben Grimm wear a shirt with his own picture on it?
They all did back in those days. Yeah. It's great. I think
wow, what a great image.
It's so good. That one makes me super happy. But no, it's I love that. So I guess we're getting maybe some Halloween stuff, or maybe it's just fans in the crowd. But man,
it looked like official merch within the. It looks like the FF have merch in their world.
Well, they're clearly just even judging from the AI posters that everyone's saying is AI because the head's too small.
I saw a comment about is the director's daughter AI?
Yeah, what is this? What? So clearly here they are heroes, they are celebrities.
Yes.
Right? It's
people love them.
And I think that's like, because when you think about today, like, I don't know if I would necessarily love superheroes in real life. And I think that's where it'd be like
a bunch of showboats.
A bunch of showboats. They'd
No,
wreck everything.
Real quick, I just got so that's that sign that says "We for you," and
Shouldn't
like
it be
it's like
we're for you?
Yeah, right, like that, or like we are for you, like
yeah.
But I feel like they're trying to use the for logo as a heart, but yeah,
It just didn't work.
I think we workshopped it.
Yeah,
and fixed it for them.
They should have came to us for QC. I don't know why they don't. In fact, these people have a direct line to me if they so desire. So I mean, just I'll help you out. It'll be fine.
Maybe it is AI.
Maybe it is AI. Well, again, I still feel like the crowd could be, but I do know like the foreground stuff is not.
Yeah.
Like it's just so it's probably a mix, just like anything else.
Ooh, I want to bring this up real quick.
Yeah.
King Panther. Doell, no one is mentioning who John Malkovich is portraying. My guess is either Puppet Master, father, aka the father of Alicia Masters, or the deadbeat father of John and Sue Storm.
Oh.
My theory is that he could be Reed Richards' father. Is it Nathaniel Richards?
You might know that more than I would.
Well, because Reed Richards, as to my clearly limited knowledge, has like a jerk father who's like also a scientist and super intelligent, but not on Reed's level, and is kind of like a jerk, which, I feel like, I don't know, that would be an interesting dynamic to explore with John Malkovich. I've also seen people say the Mad Thinker, who his whole gimmick was that he created like the super adaptoid and would always have like robots and these master plans. Like he'd always have like a perfectly timed scheme with like the very like taking of Pelham 1 2 3 Robert Shaw kind of guy,
right.
But would always be like foiled in the end because he wasn't on Reed Richards level. Or somebody, as Andrew saying here, Red Ghost.
We're clicking it, but different
at the same time. Red Ghost, but I don't know. I can't picture them doing the like ape henchman. Even though that would be like pretty funny, but given his like impressive entry or his like mysterious entrance in the movie, if he's got like a gorilla with like a handgun and like a spider monkey that can turn invisible behind him, I think that kind of like undercuts the.
If this was the Fox era, he would be a nihilist.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, who could this guy be? Oh, it's a nihilist, but it's the movie version of nihilist.
But that's the thing. I think like what we're getting into is that the Fantastic Four, even though we only ever see Doctor Doom or Galactus, albeit in cloud form, or Silver, like they have a good rogues gallery. They have a much better list of villains than the Avengers or some of the other Marvel characters. Like it's not Spider-Man level, it's maybe not X-Men level, but like, I mean, I'm talking Mole Man, I'm talking Annihilus, I'm talking
there's Dragon
Man, Dragon Man,
Dragon
Man.
There's
a robot, super adaptoid who we mentioned, Super Skrull,
Psycho Man is another
Psycho
one.
Man,
High Evolutionary, but High Evolutionary kind of like goes across the spectrum of Marvel.
Molecule Man,
the
Frightful Four with the Wizard and Paste Pot Pete.
That's who I was thinking of, was the Wizard. Yes, and then maybe he's the Wizard because he's got that wizard beard.
Oh well, maybe
I don't know. He looks, when I think about the like, if it's like, because everything here looks like it's the 60s, right? And they've made it very clear it's very much that, even from the old teaser poster.
Yeah.
If anyone's got a very 60s costume, it's the Wizard.
Oh yeah. I mean, that big crazy helmet.
I also Man as well.
I can only think like the Wizard like has like such Vincent Price vibes. It's like I can only think of
It'd be
Vincent Price playing him, but
I'm trying to think like who would do a good Vincent Price today.
I
don't know.
Yeah,
I'm running out of people.
The man was one of a kind. So
yeah, that's true. Alison Troy, he's always John Malkovich.
Maybe he's just playing John.
Maybe
it's a being John Malkovich joke if he's like coming out of like Galactus's like head or something. It's like he was in his own head. I don't know.
Right, just as you were mentioning Mole Man as well.
Yeah, Mole Man and the Moloids or whatever. Like his whole those mole army, like they're such iconic designs, and we've like never seen them in anything.
Right, Dr.
Orpheus,
yeah. I like this. Nick Dillinger, Bill Hader can do a great Vincent Price.
Yeah, Bill Hader would be a good wizard.
Bill Hader would just be. I would love to see Bill Hader in Marvel. Period.
Yeah. How's it not? I've heard he was like rumored as to be Beast at one point.
Do you know
that sounds great? That's a great pick.
Do you know what? I'd rather have him be in DC. I want Bill Hader to play Plastic Man.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because I mean, we all know Jim Carrey would be the best one.
Right.
I think Bill Hader, he could do it too.
For sure.
Right? So I don't know. I think that's quite something. Let's keep talking about this trailer. I don't know. If anyone needs me, Alex, if you at one point are like, I need to see the trailer again, you need me to pull something up, let me know and I'll try to get it. But I'm trying to think of what else was all in there. We got to see the Baxter building, the inside.
Yes.
The outside of it. Did we see the outside of it? We did.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah, I think we did. We saw it went by fast. It all went by so fast. Yeah, I remember the elevator doors opening.
The inside of it is so good. And I love that like open kitchen.
I wonder who that guy he's talking to. The guy with the that they're
business dude
giving the tour. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder too.
I wonder if we're gonna see Willie Lumpkin in this. Delivering their fan mail.
I would love that. I don't remember when Stan Lee played him in the very first Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But I'm totally cool with more Willie Lumpkin. 100%. I'm absolutely all for that. Give me some more of that. Get me. I'm just trying to think of who, like Alicia Masters. I don't know where this movie's going to go in terms of that, but I hope that maybe she gets introduced in some fashion.
Yeah, for sure.
She would be great. It's Fantastic Four, right? And I'm just trying to think here. We kind of see what looks like might be their origins in there. Yeah,
it's funny because like the Superman trailer, I feel like was very like post superhero movie. Like it did nothing to explain who this guy is, like what he can do, like it's just like, yeah, we all know who Superman is, like, and here's a dog with a cape, like get used to it, people, like catch up. But Fantastic Four, they're still kind of like going through the motions of like, you know, Johnny's the hothead and he lights on fire, and Ben is the rock and he is a rock, and like, you know, it's like they're still kind of, you know, when we went up on that spaceship on that fateful day or whatever. Like,
yeah, I feel like they felt like the people kind of forgot who they were, and I think they're more not necessarily. I feel like the trailer at some points is not really appealing to you and I feel like they already know they've got our ticket, that we know who everything is. I think they're really trying to get to those like preteens, kids.
Yeah. It's all the people like, who grew up on Avengers and you know, that whole people who don't know a world before the MCU. Right. And probably have never seen any of the other Fantastic Four movies.
Right. Elder boomers might not know who they are. They might just be like Incredibles.
Yeah.
Right. They might not necessarily know. So it's just like,
even
I don't know.
Incredibles is like going pretty old now.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. They're getting a third movie as well, which we're definitely going to have to review. We'll talk about that whenever that happens. If it even still is happening, you never know these days.
Yeah.
But man, no, dude, I still love all of that, especially when you get to see like the old footage of them getting on that rocket, and it's like,
yeah,
Ben and Reed, and just doing their thing, and
again, seeing it in that like period setting, it's like it's saying like, okay, this is like the familiar Fantastic Four story, but not done in a way that we've seen in movies yet.
Right. I think it's actually kind of smart doing it as a period piece.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. As well. Like, I don't know when this all takes place necessarily, but or where it takes place. Just we know it's New York and we know it's the 60s, but
it's certainly that because it's the space age, right? Like it's that where space was still this great unknown, and that is so integral to the Fantastic Four story and origins, and it does kind of date it, but it's like, I don't know, like some of the more like that last attempt at a Fantastic Four movie, like they're trying to figure out like, well, is it like another dimensional gateway? Like, what do we do as like this like unknown thing nowadays? But like,
right.
You know, I don't know, to a certain extent that's sort of like moving away from like the inherent DNA of the thing.
Yeah. Quip, how there have been a Fantastic Four movie every 10 years since 94, 95. I think the Josh Trank one, I think people have forgotten that one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone even saw it.
Right.
And it's weird looking at photos from that movie now, because of course people are posting them. And it's just like, man, nothing looks good. Like, and it's so unfortunate because clearly a lot of people worked on it and they put in a lot of hours, and nobody aims to make a bad movie, but
yeah,
at the same time,
and I don't know, but I remember like reports are that they originally like the budget was reduced by like an intense degree, and like they pretty much like could only do the first act of the movie, and it was originally this like much bigger, crazier thing, and just like, but still not whatever their ability to pivot and make a different movie was not the best.
Yeah, sometimes that just happens, right? Like the same thing happened with the first Justice League movie as well, where they were like switching directors, we got to pivot.
Oh yeah,
that one too was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Chris Babinski, I never know how to say this man's last name. Michael
Giacchino?
Yeah. Who did the score for The Incredibles, is doing the score for Fantastic Four.
Oh, and those Incredibles, both Incredibles and Incredibles 2, the score, so good. So good.
He also did the score for the Batman and Penguin.
Right, yeah. And those are, Penguin in particular, that Penguin theme was great. And he like directed Marvel shows. He directed the Werewolf by Night, right? So awesome.
Which is also amazing. It's one that I feel like a lot of us aren't talking about enough, but it's so good. That's like now become one of like my Halloween staples. Like before I leave for Toronto, it's like the night before. It's like, I'm gonna put some Werewolf by Night on. It's so good. It's like it's become it's like a Christmas special, but for Halloween.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
No, I love it. Just trying to think of what else was in that trailer. The Fantastic Car was in there.
Very cool, very sleek.
Very sleek. See, and that again too is just like, where's the toy? I'm hoping that if there's no like toys with like action figures kind of thing to go with it, I would buy the Hot Wheel in a second.
Oh, yeah. Or I imagine people will make like model kits and that sort of thing, because it's very cool. Like, it's about time that it feels like it's been a minute since we've had like a really iconic movie car.
I agree. Like, that's not Batman.
Right, yeah, but even then it's like now we've had so many permutations of the Batmobile. It's like, and obviously there are some that are extremely iconic. It's like, how can they, but I just mean like a new thing, like a whole new car.
But it's this beautiful striking blue with these like fins. Everything looks sleek, like
looks fast. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just like, again, this movie, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
And I freaking love Herbie. what an amazing design. Like they took a kind of, like Herbie's, he's a little bit, he was like Jar Jar Binks before Jar Jar Binks, right? Like he
Right.
was the thing that fans like kind of latched onto to be like, no, that's not my. But since we've learned to embrace him, learned to love him, and this is like the best Herbie we've ever had. Like he just looks like, again, it's like he looks up the era. Like I want a toy immediately. Like if they're not making like Grogu, if they don't have a Grogu level like Christmas toy push for a Herbie, like they're crazy.
I know Hasbro can do it because they've done interactive Lolas and Choppers, like the droids from Star Wars,
right?
Where they interact with you.
Yeah,
I firmly believe that they could do that, make an interactive Herbie, one that's like it doesn't have to be like. Of course, we all love a 1-to-1 Herbie. But I mean, like, just make something about so big, and then
like I wonder maybe because I don't know like how well those like BB-8s in the Star Wars, like they might be like, we still got remote control BB-8s that we can't get rid of, like, but this is this ain't a Star Wars droid, this is a MCU robot,
right?
He's great.
It would be cute if they made him like the little apron that you could put on him too, and just have him interact. I don't know. I just think I think it would be a lot of fun. I'm really hoping that Hasbro's like, yeah, we should make a Herbie.
Yeah.
Like, I guess we'll find out. I mean, Toy Fair's coming out soon, but I don't know if they would show anything. I don't think Marvel would let them show anything for anything this early, would they? You think?
I mean, they've shown the teaser, so I would say I feel like in previous years you would find out about the movies through Toy Fair. Like that would be like your first look at some of this stuff. Was like things used to be a lot less guarded, right? But I don't know. Like once a trailer's out, like it's kind of fair game, like
it's funny that we're saying that because there was just. On the weekend, I was reading one of my 90s Star Wars magazines. Oh, and it was like, hey, we got let into the secret room to see the episode 1 toys. We can't talk about them. We couldn't take photos. We can't show anything, but we're allowed to talk about it next month. That was just a little glip of just them being like, yo, we saw him and damn. Like,
there's this guy, Commander Priebus. He's gonna be big.
Style Bibble, man. Let me tell you what Style Bibble.
The whole plot, we've been told that the whole plot revolves around Commodore Vexus.
Yeah. There's this battle droid. Let me tell you about him.
He doesn't even have a line.
It's so good. But I'm kind of hoping, like, I could see them if, like, there's, I don't know how, I know Hasbro said they're going back to Toy Fair this year, but I have no idea what Marvel Legends did the last time, like, 2019? I guess would have been the last time they were there.
I'd be surprised if it was Marvel Legends Fantastic Four stuff, but certainly like, all ages or just, whatever they have.
The Epic Heroes line?
Yeah, or just whatever they have as the sort of general movie line for this movie. I don't know. I mean, that's in years past, I feel like that is what you would definitely see something like that at Toy Fair at this point.
Yeah. Because it's, I don't know, man. I just see this whole movie to me, like, because you see them, like, Johnny's wearing his, like, space helmet at some point in the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
He's like kind of a kid, kind of a big kid.
Kind of a big kid, kind of fun. But it's like, I don't know. I see all that stuff, the aesthetic that it has, and it really does scream to me like this. There should be a full toy line for Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And I feel like, things have moved. Things have like, it's sort of like shift, like you now we either have like movie replica where it's like super realistic, it's like, oh, that looks exactly like Hugh Jackman, or it's like this very much for kids, it's very like, not, it's very pared down, right? But
Right.
for me, Fantastic Four, like that Toy Biz, 90s Toy Biz line when like the cartoon had come out, and you had like the clamshell packaging, and it was like Mr. Fantastic with like stretchy arms and like a thing that like, I don't know, like they were like big and colorful and satisfying. I feel like, obviously this movie has like, feels like dramatic, like there's going to, it's like, it's gonna have like, my read from the trailer is like real world stakes. It's about family. It's not silly or goofy or irreverent, but let the toys be their own thing, right? Like let's get some, the toys that would have been like the merchandise that they might make within the movie world, where it's like,
right. But again, I think
sense.
like you said, like the Toy Biz era kind of really covered that in the best way.
Yeah.
Because you got like, there was 3 different things. So there's like thing in his trunks. There was a undercover thing where he had the trench coat and the hat. And then there's the one in the unitard and the boots, which had this beautiful head sculpt.
Yes.
On it as well.
Yeah.
I have that figure. It's still on a shelf. It's like, it's so good. It's such a good figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly like, and again too, I still think Fantastic Four is like one of the most toyetic franchises.
Yeah, it certainly can be, like, and yeah, and given that they have this kind of like more bright and retro futurism aesthetic, like, that could make for some fun toys if you kind of amp it up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah,
I just think there's just a lot you can do, because again, like do them in their superhero outfits, do them in their put them in as astronauts, make them, put Reed in his lab coat. There's just, I don't know, I just feel
have
like there's
a Galactus play set where there's like parts of him that you could put the figures on him and like in him.
Do you know what you kind of do? You do him as a half body with like the arms out front.
Yeah.
And then the head. And you could do like, maybe the arms just kind of like, the arms would move like the Eternia place.
Yes.
Right?
That's a great idea.
So thank you. I see. And you just have them move kind of back and forth. It would almost look like the play set that almost happened with Darkseid for superpowers.
Yes, yeah.
Right? But it would just kind of be taller.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty from the first X-Men movie. They had like a Statue of Liberty playset.
Yeah,
it was like the head.
But also, if they did it right, you could open it up, and you could do the Galactus where it opens up and inside is the Baxter Building, or he's also a carrying case.
Yeah. Good.
I was born in the wrong time. I was really born in the wrong time. All my ideas.
This is the time where you're getting the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah. All my ideas put to waste. Oh,
it's like an O. Henry novel.
Yeah. What did I do in a past life to be cursed with this knowledge from the past? It's so it's agonizing. Yeah. What? Oh, something else on your mind?
No, I just no.
No,
I think no. You're right. Like that's the toy. Toys, Fantastic Four, crazy villains.
Crazy villains. Again, they have very colorful, fun villains as well.
But to bring it back to the trailer. There's definitely that brightness. There's that fun, but I feel like the trailer does emphasize this is a family. I think that's in a lot of ways, like the MCU, they obviously did a lot with what they had with Avengers, with Spider-Man, with all those characters, but like Fantastic Four X-Men, some of these untapped movie franchises have like a real like thematic core to them that you can really like build a specific story off of. And yeah, obviously like the Incredibles took the family as superheroes trope and like did absolutely the best.
Yeah, Brad
but
Bird
that's just like
it out of the park.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it's a beautiful, perfect movie. But that just raises that's just like a challenge thrown. It's like, okay, well, so can we explore a similar territory, but still keep it to that theme of, is there more to dig in here, especially in a different circle, like explore that theme of family. What does family mean? What is the context of it in terms of people who can do incredible things, but have, are dealing with all kinds of different, world experiences and
just different talent, just different challenges of the unknown. Which would also, guess what? I would love to see a movie of Challenges of the Unknown. I know I just went off on a tangent there.
That would be like the biggest troll ever if James Gunn was like, we're doing a Challengers of the Unknown movie.
Oh, we're announcing X-Men. Well, Doom Patrol, here we go.
Yeah.
It'll be good. Johnny Disco, all about family. The Fantastic and the Furious. Yeah. What about Fastastic 4?
Oh, nice.
Right?
They got the car. They got a car.
They
can keep up.
I'd watch that crossover. I wouldn't even be mad about it.
Sure.
Right? I think Quip's asking the most important question. Mondo Incredibles when?
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah. We need a 1/6 Pro Zone.
Yeah.
I also agree.
I love the Incredibles. I love those designs. I like the visual aesthetic of Incredibles 2. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Awesome stuff.
I know we're going off on a tangent, but I guess it kind of plays in like the whole thing, Incredibles Fantastic Four family thing. Did you own do you own the DVD for the Incredibles?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I probably not anymore, but I maybe watched that thing and the special features more than any. I've got that entire movie memorized.
So there's two things in the special features that I absolutely loved that they did. One was they had all the recorded interviews with all the other superheroes.
Yeah.
And the one guy is just like, whew, and I mean, some of those villains, man, they're they can be pretty attractive, and you gotta take a quick run around the block, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my god, dude, I hear you, I feel you. I can't remember which character that was, and I was like, I relate. I get this. I get this. And then the other thing I love is their animated pilot that didn't take off with Mr. Skipperdo, which is like something like a total throwback to like Herbie as well. And it's the same kind of like that. I love how it's like, is that a real mouth? Wait, am I white? That shit kills me. It gets me every time. Right? Yeah. Oh, I think the Underminer is my favorite villain name too.
It's brilliant.
It's so good. It is.
I'm beneath you, but nothing is beneath me.
It's
Pixar was firing on all cylinders.
But just to add in all that extra stuff, especially when you watch Mr. Incredible with Mr. Skipperdo, and then you watch the cartoon, then you watch it again with their commentary. It is so good. Yeah. So if anyone does not own the Incredibles, go find the DVD.
Also, yeah, absolutely. And because also the making of, like, they sort of, Brad Bird kind of journals his because it was his first movie done at Pixar, and there's a lot of like friction because when you get a lot of creative guys in one room and everyone's got like kind of different ideas, like and
everybody wants their ideas seen.
Yeah, and they don't shy away from kind of showing a little bit of that. It's cool. It's a great look at the creative process.
And there's one of the things too that stuck out in that creative process as well. I think they're talking to you didn't save my life, you ruined my death. Yeah.
The neck phrase.
when they're talking to, I think, one of the animation leads, and they show video of him eating the cake as reference for him animating Mr.
Yeah.
eating the cake. And I was like, that is like, that to me was like, because this is before I got into like feature animation, and I was like, that's got to be the best. And then when starting to work on Spider-Verse, you watch the animators record themselves acting out scenes. Like sometimes now, even when I watch Into the Spider-Verse, I'm like, all I see are certain animators doing it, and just like, and I was like, oh, this is so good. Like, I see that person in that acting, and it's like, and again, that's huge props to the animators, because they're pretty damn good actors.
I'm surprised they've never had one of those, behind the scenes special features where they recut the movie using all the animators reference footage of themselves.
We saved all of that in case they wanted to do it.
I think there could be an audience for that.
Oh, there's 100% an audience, because some of it's so funny, because some people get so into it that they get into costume. And then in some cases, some of the guys are like, if they're doing Jefferson and, oh God, what's the mom's name? Anyone?
Mrs. Morales?
Yeah. When they're arguing and you see it's the animator and like his wife, and they're reenacting it, and it's just like, oh, this is so good. It is so much fun to watch. It's honestly, sometimes, folks, I have like the best job. Rio. Thank you, Tony Johnson. It's Rio Morales. Yeah, I sometimes have the best job in the world. Sometimes I want to throw myself out a window. But it really depends. Right now, I'm borderline, but I'm still like, but the movie looks awesome, so I'm just like,
yeah,
you're keeping me at bay here.
More things, right? I want to touch on real quick, like the Thing in his trench coat, so good. Like getting real this monster vibes from that shot, and like the, I mean, you kind of can't go wrong with the Ben Grimm brooding over that he used to be a man, and showing the interview of him on TV, and then when it cuts, when the TV turns off, you see his reflection, rack focus reveal that it's he's now a monster looking at what he used to be. Like, oh, it's great stuff. It's very this monster Thing on a lonely walk in his trench coat, not blending in at all.
At all. Everyone knows, but everyone's just being polite and leaving you alone. What do you think of let's just get into it. What do you think of his voice?
It's a little, I can see people feeling it's a little jarring, right? Because it's not what you expect.
I love this. I love a good pasta. All right.
Yeah. It's like, you have to allow an actor the tools they need. Sometimes it's like the eyes, like, are very important. Actors, if they're playing a character where the eyes are covered, it's like very challenging. Sometimes there's a voice, like, what, clearly that decision was made to unencumber the performance. So I'm intrigued to see, like, how it plays out, how it could, and obviously it's like you could not have a more encumbered performance for the rest of for the body. It's like, I don't know if I heard it was some prosthetics on the set, but then in some enhancements with CG, whatever, however they're creating the Thing. It's like, if he needs to have his whatever voice he needs to bring that version of the character to life, like, I'm for that. I do think that, it's like, that's like the Thing in the like Jack Kirby, Stan Lee run of the comics is like one of the greatest characters in Marvel, maybe ever. Like, he's just such a great character. Like, he's such a unique guy, like, and so much of it is the voice. And I feel like if you watch like the like Fantastic Four cartoon from the 60s, that voice is perfect. Like that is the voice of Ben Grimm from those comics. And yeah, just that his character is like he's gruff and can be irritating and frustrating, and he always says like he says like kind of the opposite of what he means. So like he'll insult a guy he likes, he'll say nice things to a guy he hates. Like you know, he's like, who would ever, you know, take something out on a living doll like me? You know, like he refers to himself as like, I'm just a cream puff. Like I wouldn't hurt nobody. Like while he's like bashing a guy's head in, like I can't do nothing to this guy. Like
emotionally, he is soft.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, he is a
big softie in a lot of ways.
No, totally. But there is that element of like, I don't know. It's he says one thing when he means another, right? And he's you know, and he's always like, you know, I don't need none of yous. Like you all don't need me around. But like obviously, like they're a family, he loves them. Like, you know, he picks on the Torch, but he loves them. Like, you know, but I don't know. I know maybe that character is too much of an anachronism now. Maybe it just would be too, you know, even in a movie that has like kind of a vague period aesthetic, you know, maybe a character like that would be just too alienating to modern audiences, or maybe it wouldn't translate, or, you know, they're doing something different. And you know, he's an upbeat thing. My brother pointed out, I watched the trailer with him, and he's like, how great is it that he's tasting a robot's cooking and trying to spare his feelings. Like, you know, that's great. Yeah, that's fun, you know.
I just want to add a little more. I actually love that too, and I actually like the voice. I know it's just like someone just said here too, Charlie Squared. Honestly, he sounds just like his character from The Bear. Well, it's same actor, so I mean they're gonna sound similar, right? Kurt Russell in Tango and Cash sounds a lot like he does in Overboard. Like it just happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's not what we were expecting. It's not what we've seen before. It's not necessarily what's in the comic, but like, it's good to keep an open mind.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know. I like it. I don't know. When I first heard it, it was a little like, oh, and then all of a sudden now I'm just like, yeah, that's what I want. That's my thing.
I also really like, you know, his eyes are very clear. Like he's got the very human clear blue eyes, which, you know, is a component of the thing. You know, they call him like blue eyes, and it is that, like, you know, it's like, even though he's got this rock exterior, the like window to the soul is still there, and, you know, still you can see the humanity clear as day, right?
Right. No, I'm with you. I love it. I hope someone also calls him the ever-loving blue-eyed thing.
Yeah.
At some point, you know, that's coming. I don't know. I just feel like it's coming.
He's got to say it's clobbering time.
Oh, he said it they did that whole launch for the trailer where they came out at space camp, right? Like all these kids are there with the Fantastic Four hats, which I was like, oh, that's fun, because these are because they're literally at a space camp. And the actors come out all looking very attractive. It was like, okay, fine. It's way too early in the morning.
You want to do it? Like,
it's way too early for this. But yeah, even he did it's clobbering time. Like he didn't say it in the voice, but he kind of just, I think he's saving it for people to see the movie, so he didn't do it.
Hopefully he saves it. But hear about Sweet Aunt Petunia, maybe see Aunt Petunia. Although I feel like, so I don't know if you've read the John Byrne run of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, got a bunch of them.
It's revealed that Aunt Petunia, Ben Grimm's Sweet Aunt Petunia, is like young and hot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that card has already been well mined with Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. Like,
yes.
maybe it's already played out, but
Well, maybe unless they get Sydney Sweeney to play his Aunt Petunia. Then do it.
Do it.
Do it. I would, because that would be awesome. You know what? We're at the hour mark. I know we're trying to keep it tight to an hour tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just bring up one last thing. It's just funny because now Brick just brought it up, and somehow the battle with Galactus ends up leading them to the 616. Let's talk. You get that back of the head shot in a shadow of Galactus.
Looking at the Statue of Liberty for scale.
He's a tourist too. He's pulls out his phone, takes a photo. He's like,
would it be great if he was just an action figure collector and he was like, oh,
yeah,
this is awesome.
Yeah, Galactus does an unboxing of Earth.
he's an intergalactic YouTuber.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming to Galactus Pickups. I just went to this new planet I found. It's called Earth. And let me tell you, they had action figures just laying around.
You're not going to believe what I found there.
Yeah, so I picked this
hit
one
that
up.
like button, hit subscribe, and let's go on this journey.
This is Lady Liberty. She stands for freedom.
And she stands about pretty well on my shelf.
She's a 1/16 scale figure. Yeah, I think, dude, that's a skit. Galactus unboxing planets.
I feel like, yeah.
Or he could do like, what's that called? Like mukbang? You know, where people eat, or he's sitting there eating the planet. And he's just like, oh, hey guys, nice to see you. It's me, it's Galactus. Just hanging out. What did I order today? Well, today I ordered the planet Jupiter. And
we've got a like goal. If we hit our like goal, I'll eat all of Earth.
Mukbang, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Oh my god, Ryan, that's brilliant.
It is. I think so too.
And I think it might be a Jeffries sketch.
Toy Collector Magazine, Blake, dude, great skull. The articulation sucks.
Clearly not a Ghostbusters 2 fan.
Yeah. He puts it with his X-Men. That's what he's doing. He's like, oh.
Yeah, it's a playset.
Yeah.
I just need the head.
Yeah, I just need the head. Clearly, so happy they didn't release the one from 616 where she's got the shield. So I'm just really happy. It's the original. Davey Sockrocker.
His alternate heads.
They're portraits.
Hey, this all makes a little too much sense.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm trying to think of what other big statues do we still have on this planet? Oh, we've got the Jesus in Brazil. You could take that.
Yeah.
Right? T-Jesus. T-stance Jesus.
T-pose.
Yeah, T-pose. I'm trying to think of... Hey, trying to list landmarks here. Really hard to do. I'm like, because the Eiffel Tower would be just kind of like, it just uses it as a toothpick.
Yeah. But maybe he will. Well,
oh my god. Yeah, we don't know how far this is gonna go.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. The Derek Hoover, the Crazy Horse Monument is Galactus's Grail chase figure. That is awesome. Jace, just we brought this up at the beginning. Speaking of Ghostbusters, we can't say teasers are out. I'm just gonna
for Boogeyman.
I am gonna just speak for you, Alex.
Yeah, yeah. By all means.
Yeah, the teasers are out.
My representative, Ryan.
Yeah, yeah. I'm his advocate, Ryan. And the teasers are out. Just hang tight, because when teasers happen, that means soon. That's all.
I love all these statues in the chat being like, we got a lot. Earth has a good collection.
Right?
It's nothing to sneeze at.
Toy Collector Magazine, Battle Sphinx in Egypt. Quip. Leshner Giant Buddha. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Lincoln Memorial.
The Lincoln Monument.
The Giant Gundam.
Whoa. Right? Davey Sockrocker, the Giant Gundam in Japan. Man. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
Galactus can just go for it.
This is a good, yeah. The conspicuously absent from this trailer, not a lot of Mr. Fantastic to begin with,
right?
But also not his powers. interesting, interesting omission.
Well, the stuff we see of Johnny using his powers though too is very quick.
Yes, I mean all of it. I mean, Sue's powers look awesome, by the way. The force field.
Sue's powers look great.
Yeah, very cool.
I think Sue, just like Marvel Rivals, I think Sue is gonna steal the show.
Well, and she's sort of being described, or I don't know where this came from, but like that she's sort of the leader of this incarnation of the Fantastic Four. I don't know if that's right, but I heard she might be in more of a leader role, and maybe maybe Mr. Fantastic, maybe truly his greatest power is his brain.
Right. I always thought that kind of made sense to me though as well. I feel like we've seen comics where Sue kind of takes the lead, and Reed kind of plays the Donatello does machines.
Well, that's another aspect of the original Fantastic Four, or not another. It just is an aspect of the original Fantastic Four run that probably has not aged best. Is that the Invisible Girl, like Invisible Woman?
Oh no,
I guess she was the Invisible Girl the whole time. Not a whole lot to do. Like very sidelined. It's very much like, this is a boys comic, like, like every now and then they would be like, and Sue actually, like, she used her invisibility to turn off the machine, and like she's our greatest weapon, but like character very underdeveloped. And it's in the John Byrne era,
right?
That's when he really brings her into her own, and she goes from being like more just like Reed's wife who wants to have as much of a normal life despite the Fantastic Four situation as possible, into being like the leader of the team. And then you get the whole Malice thing, and it's like
Malice is a big deal right now. Again, thanks to Marvel Rivals. This is good too from Quip. I wonder if Namor, aka Mr. Steel, your girl, will slide into her DM. Even if it doesn't happen, okay, this is my dream for this. I want Namor and Dr. Doom to team up so that Doom can toot as he pleases. Right? And
the conch shell?
Yeah, the conch shell. But I always love that dynamic of these two, world leaders who just can't get to Reed Richards. No matter how hard they try.
Yeah, and they can't get along. And they won't do this in the movies, but I love some of the goofy shit in the early Fantastic Four comics where it's like there's a issue. I think I might be conflating two different issues, but there's an issue where they like go broke, and they have to they can't pay their lease on the Baxter building. They have to like leave, and they are
you talking about Marvel Knights 4?
No. Maybe they read it. No, this is like the Kirby Stan Lee. This is like issue Kirby. 7 or it's an early issue. And because Reed makes some bad investments, and they're broke. And so they I think they go out to Hollywood because they're getting some like interest from like movie studios to maybe be movie stars, or like do a movie based on their life rights, and they're hoping to get some get a payday that way. And the head of the movie studio is Namor in disguise. And it's the whole thing is like a plot to like trap the Fantastic Four, and it's great.
Thirst trap the Fantastic
Four. Yeah. He is from the ocean, so
he is.
He's if anyone knows about thirst.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to think of what. Yeah, because hang on. So now before we bounce out of here, I wanted to see if you have any couple, like, for anyone who's new to Fantastic Four, or maybe has never dabbled into the comics, and maybe now this is the movie that has you going, what should I read? Do you have any stories that you recommend?
You read my mind. Like, we did not coordinate this. But I was going to bring up that, if you are watching this trailer, this movie, if you are stoked on the Fantastic Four, if you're in the mood, and you want to, but you don't know where to dive in, you don't know like where to begin, right now on Amazon, readily available, it seems, you can't go wrong with this artisan edition of Jack Kirby's. This is like the later run. The Jack Kirby and Stan Lee did like the first, Jack Kirby drew like the first 102 or 103 issues. So it's, this is the comic they created, right? And so this is sort of the later run. This is Joe Sinnott inking over Kirby, and it's just, if you hear, and if you don't know much about Kirby, and you're like, I hear everyone talking about this Kirby guy, what's all the fuss? Like, this book,
oh my god,
is what all the fuss is about.
Is that a Nihil? That is a Nihilus.
This is a Nihilus.
Right, that's so good. Look how crisp those lines are. Remember, this is like dipped pen and ink.
Oh yeah, I mean, so Joe Sinnott is my favorite Kirby inker. Like, I think one of the things that's tough to get into Kirby is that like his stuff always looks very different depending on who's inking him. Right. But this is like the most, I feel like, most classic, iconic, just lush, fluid line work. And what's fun, and it's just like, it's so much fun. Like, he was at the top of his game. Like, he knew how to draw these characters inside and out. And this, and it's like, it collects, like, this one's the like Fantastic Four annual where they first meet Annihilus in the Negative Zone. But what's interesting is because it's an artisan edition, so these are photos of the actual pages, the actual comic pages. And you can see things like, I don't know if it'll read on camera, but you can kind of see. So at one point early on in the story, Reed Richards and the Human Torch and the Thing are flying through the Negative Zone with these like jetpacks, with these like rock, that's how they're able to like fly. I mean, Human Torch can fly anyway, but like Reed and Thing like need these like jetpacks to like navigate the anti-gravity of the Negative Zone. Here you can see they're like these like backpack things. But there's a plot device where like Annihilus takes their backpacks so that they can't like escape, right? And it becomes like an issue. It becomes a problem towards the end of the issue where they have to escape, but they don't have their jetpacks. Well, as Kirby is like, he's writing the story as he draws it, right? It's like he was in those days. It seemed like he was like the creator. Like, he and Stan would talk about sort of the general premise of the issue, but then he would like write the issue through his drawings, right? Well, sometimes you have to revise as you go, and so clearly that decision to take away their jetpacks for like the plot like was a later decision, because you can see they had to white out all the panels where you would see the like backpack. Again, it's not really showing up here, but because it's like the reproduced original comic art, you can see that like whiteout right on the pages to clean up this like, this like story plot hole. Yeah, it's not showing up like at all, but
no,
but
it's not.
You can see, I mean, look at this page of just the crazy machinery. Like, it's just like
so good. I want to get an artist edition of this. This is gonna go under my recommended reading. The Fantastic Four run with Mike Wieringo and Mark Waid.
Oh, nice. I've never read that.
Dude, it's where Dr. Doom says, okay, I can't out-science you, but my mother was a gypsy, and I could out-magic you.
Ah.
And it's awesome.
So cool.
Those are so cool.
And this kind of segues into my second recommendation.
Yeah,
if you're all excited about the movie. And I'll use this as the transition point. So you got this image of Annihilus.
I love it.
Cut to this image of Annihilus in Alex Ross's his like latest Fantastic. So we got him. He's like eating bugs. He's like, it's like clearly like very Kirby inspired. This is Alex Ross's Fantastic Four Full Circle, which is an adventure that kind of intersects with that annual from this book. And this is love letter to Jack Kirby from Alex Ross, but infused with, it's like if the Kirby comics were directly translated into a live action movie. I know I've showed this off before, but it's so
show
cool.
It again.
I mean, the costumes are amazing in this. And Alex Ross actually created these like figures. Like he like sewed the costumes and created figures to use as reference. And he has like a video on his website of him doing it, and they're truly awesome. But you can see like this is like his version of that crazy Kirby collage, where Kirby would like cut out, he'd do like the drawings of like the Fantastic Four and then cut them into like these photo collages he would make. And this is Alex Ross kind of like simulating that effect in paint. But yeah, it's just like this city like is like directly from one of those panels I showed, and it's just, yeah, it's like it's a feast for the eyes. Again, probably doesn't like show up that well on screen here, but yeah, it's like, it's super fun. He's having the time of his life playing in the Kirby sandbox. That's just, yeah, it's super fun, and kind of it's like a little bit different visual for Alex Ross, because it's not his usual gouache painting. It's kind of this like using the edge of the pencil shading that's then digitally colored, I think, later.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Good. Look at I just got to show this thing.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's so good. So yeah, highly recommend these two. This is still on Amazon right now. I'm sure this is too, but yeah.
Yeah, you do not sleep on it. Get it. Yeah. King Panther, Doell and Alex, The Trial of Reed Richards, Fantastic Four issues number 262. That's a great, tremendous storyline.
Nice. Yeah. I was like working my way through the John Byrne run, which is also awesome. Like I highly recommend that. It's sort of playing the hits initially. It's like kind of playing the hits of the Jack and Stan run.
Yep.
But it's like his interpretation of it, and the art is just phenomenal. And then when he brings She-Hulk into the mix, it's so much fun. And then there's the Walt Simonson run, which is also highly regarded during the 80s that I haven't dove into yet, but
I do like the Hickman run. I know that's a little more modern.
Yes,
but the Hickman run's really good, and he did really well because that's when Disney was going through their phase of like, we don't own the movie rights, so cancel the comic. So it went from Fantastic Four to Freedom Foundation, because it's like, don't call it Fantastic Four. We don't want to promote somebody else's movies. And but even he did well with that. Like I still think that was really good. And
there was one with Brian Hitch did the art. Was that Mark Millar?
Yep, Mark Millar's run. I got those too. Those are on my shelf. And then and I brought this one up earlier as well, but Marvel Knights 4 is also really good.
Oh yeah. So that was, I've never read that either. That was like late 90s or early 2000s. It would have been early 2000s. More like mature reader stuff.
It's more mature reader stuff, but I think it's only a more mature reader in the sense of it. What is it? More grounded. So I feel like it's kind of went that route, because it was like, well, again, they did the old trope of like, what happens if we take away their money? Then they have to get jobs, right? And Johnny becomes part of the New York Fire Department.
Oh, cool.
Right? Because that's his, like, because they kind of gave him shit of like, oh, good, maybe you could put out your own fires that you keep starting. Right? Like, it's things like that where I was like,
and Reed Richards is like, and I shall get a job as the world's smartest man.
Yeah, right, more, yeah, kinda. But it's good. It's a fun read, so I'm gonna highly recommend that one too. And another one, I only recommend it because of the artist who did it. It is definitely a weird product of its time. And again, it didn't do anything really. It didn't take any chances. It played the greatest hits, but they did it on high speed. So they go through all the classic stories very, very, very quickly. That's, of course, Jim Lee's Heroes Reborn.
Yeah.
Because the art is still Jim Lee. It's still beautiful.
Yeah. Like, it's fun while it's Jim Lee. Like, he only does like the first like 3 issues and then he's out of there. Like,
it's like, and he did that like iconic Namor cover with the Speedo and the one leg up and the like, oh, I get what Sue sees now. all that had to happen was Jim Lee had to draw him. That was it.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's definitely, like I said, it's a product of its time in not the bad way, but it's just, I don't know. I still feel like storyline wise, this is a whole conversation for another episode. I still feel like out of all the Heroes Reborn ones, storyline wise, I feel like Captain America's the one that holds up the most. Oh,
really? I haven't read that one.
So you gotta just run with the art, man. And I know that it's Liefeld, and it's like
that's the one where like
the
guy has like 2 left hands at one point.
Yes. Like there's never a floor, so the feet are never stable. It's like it's all over the board. It just look, it is what it is. But the story, to me, I feel like they could fine tune it, retell it, and it works today. Like
interesting,
because it's literally little like Nazi groups showing up in small town America.
Oh wow.
And then the guy that's running this group is running in politics. And I was like, huh, look at that. So, I mean, at the same, like I said, it is what it is, but I feel like story-wise, I feel like that one holds up.
Maybe worth a read now.
Might be worth a read. I'm just saying, give it a chance. And it is what, and again, he's only there for like the first 6 issues before him and Marvel started fighting.
All the Image guys, they that was kind of a bait and switch, that Heroes Reborn era.
Yeah.
And I remember, and like I tried to get it. So I remember the Fantastic Four showing up briefly during Onslaught just before Heroes Reborn, drawn by Joe Madureira, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool!" Like, their costumes looked really cool. I was like, "Oh, who are these Fantastic Four?" And but then they didn't. Obviously, Joe Mad wasn't drawing the book. But then I think shortly after Heroes Reborn, I think it was after Carlos Pacheco did a run with I think maybe Chris Claremont.
Yes, the Heroes Return run. Is that not what that is? It is actually that was really good too.
I remember that's where Reed Richards' jerk father plays into things. So
the other thing that we got out of Heroes Return was that Mark Waid, George Perez Avengers run, which was just unreal. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like that's what got me into Avengers as well, was like, oh, it wasn't because it was number 1, but I just remember that fold out gate cover that George Perez did of every Avenger that's ever been, and it was like
just before they killed most of them.
Yeah, right. Well, it was a few years. I think it was 5 years.
Yeah,
right.
It had a good
but I mean,
run.
that's like 2 years in comic book time.
Yeah,
right. It goes by fast. Okay. That said, we are done for the night. I don't think we have any plugs outside of just keep your eyes out for Mondo. Keep your eyes out for any announcements. So be sure to check out their social and check out their website, mondoshop.com. It's linked below. You'll see me next week, Tuesday on Well, you'll see me here on Wednesday, Gotham Stage Night next week. And then on Toy Anxiety on Tuesday nights. And then Alice, who, let's try to get her back next week. And then, and her comic is linked down below as well, All Haven Academy. So be sure to check that out. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for everyone who's still watching on the replay and all of that and the replay crew. So thank you. And have a great night. And we will see you next week.